3, 2, 1.
Action.
Hey everybody,
Hi,
this is,
Oliver.
and I'm Brian, and we're going to do some cool stuff today. We have something totally different to look at. What are we going to do?
We're gonna put paint in a big tube and paint.
We've got some paints, we've got a fish tank full of water, we've got a whole bunch of lights, and some different products. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, we were testing them before it happened, so
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Looks really cool. Give them a sneak peek of tell them what you think it's going to look like.
I think it's gonna look like a Death Eater coming down.
Any Harry Potter fans out there? We think it looks like the Death Eater smoke that comes down. Maybe?
Yeah.
So we're going to play around with that. Now, don't be intimidated by the big lights and everything. You could still do this at home. It might look a little different, but you can have fun with it. If you have a bowl of water or a glass, you could drop some paints or some milk or some juice or food coloring and have it ready with your camera, and you can get those cool drops that fall into the water. So we're going to do something that's called a product photo shoot, but we're going to get real creative with it. So we're going to try and do some different things in product photography that can give you some new ideas. And like I said, it might be a little overwhelming seeing like, well, they have all these lights and big cameras and stuff, but don't worry. Just have fun with it. Try and be creative. And I know a big part for me learning was actually getting to watch people create things, and that helped me learn. Even though I wasn't doing it myself, to see how somebody else did it helped me learn even more. Sound good?
Yeah. And if you do have all these lights, you can do it.
Yeah. If you got a bunch of lights laying around, they don't have to be fancy strobe lights or anything. They could just be a regular light. You could use some work lights. You could use the flashlight on your phone. Anything like that. So, what do you say, Oliver? Are we ready?
Yeah.
Come with us, and we're going to drop some paint in the water. Alright, so just to walk through what we have going on here, we have a fish tank full of water. This is just foam core board that you can buy at CVS, and it gives us a nice white backdrop. We have two lights that are strobe lights, which means they're going to flash a real high-powered light into the sides. And then I have one more. This is called my key light because it's providing the most light for the whole scene. Kind of an overhead shot. So kind of pretending this was a person and we're actually shooting them, but that apple is our subject, and we're going to paint. What color paint do we have?
Green.
So we've got some green paint. This is acrylic paint mixed with a little water, and then we're going to do a drop on top of it, and it's going to flow through the water, and I'm going to capture on camera when he drops that in. I'm going to be over there taking the pictures. Sound good?
Yep.
Alright, so we'll just wait for our water to settle down. A couple things. What were some things that we learned in our trial? Some things that worked and didn't work.
Well, first, like yesterday, we tried to do one, and we just did paint without water, and then it didn't really look cool.
Yeah.
And then, we did it with water, and it looked way better.
Yeah, so we had regular paint, and we just dropped some of the paint in the water, and it didn't look cool. It just kind of clumped up and fell to the bottom. So we learned that if you mix a little liquid with that paint, it makes it a little more fluid, and it can flow through. And it'll kind of look like if you were waving a bunch of fabric underwater, and it kind of gets real flowy. Alright, a couple other things we learned. Apples float. So we had to figure out a way to tie the apple to the bottom of the tank. And I just tied it around a tool that I had that was heavy, and a pair of pliers with a piece of fishing line, so that way it'll hold it down and keep it floating in the air. So those are some of the little tricks that we do.
Yeah.
And then last thing for us was making sure there's no bubbles on the front, and so just kind of running your hand, making sure there's no bubbles on the front of that glass, because that'll show up in the picture, and we don't want to have those bubbles on there. Alright, so my settings for this, my shutter speed is at 200, my aperture is at 8, an f8 stop. Each of these lights have different powers to them. but they're all around a fifth of their power right now. And everything is synced remotely. So we can remotely command and trigger these flashes. Like that. Okay, so Oliver, I'll tell you where to move your hand. Keep moving it a little closer, and I'll move it back a little. Up a little bit. Sorry.
Back.
Close to me a little. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
And then you'll just drop it straight, or tip it straight down and give it a little squeeze. Go ahead a little more. Good. Oh, perfect.
That looks
That's
cool.
awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah, perfect.
Sleeping Beauty.
That's amazing. So I'm going to play around with some where I turn some of the lights off. So this is turning off the main light. And you can see it kind of gives it a little moodier look.
It looks really cool.
And then here's turning off one of the side lights. And then here's turning off the other side light.
Whoa. Whoa. Your turn, Dad.
Alright. Okay, so I'm going to try and cover the front of the apple. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. That's so cool. Alright, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how you did. So see how it just comes over the whole front of the apple? And it's cool because there's already stuff kind of floating in the air, but then you have this other big push of paint coming over top of it.
The Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty. So you might be looking at some of these lights and wondering what are all these things around them. And these are just different ways to model or shape or diffuse light. So if we had a regular light with this on, if I took this out, it might just be way too much light all shooting down on here. So we can add this, and this is just an umbrella, and it's a diffuser that they make for cameras or for photographers, and we can put this right up to here, and you can adjust that however close you want it, if you want to have a big diffusion or little diffusion. But this allows us to spread that light out. And since we're wanting to cover all of this area, it helps bring a ton of light in here. And we're also trying to freeze the motion when we get in here in the water. We want to freeze that motion with the light. So it's not about having a super fast shutter speed. It's also about having a high-powered light that can freeze that motion right when we take the picture. On the sides of these lights, we have what's called a 7-inch reflector dish. And it's just a metal piece. It's got shiny metal on the inside, black on the outside. But what this helps do is just kind of funnel that light into a smaller pool right here. And it can actually change the farther back I move it. You can see the farther back, if you look right here, you can see it gets real big and real small. So I can kind of help focus that beam of light wherever I want this. And these two, I have them set equal distance apart. They're about a foot away from the glass. So I will tell you where to put your hand. Move in a little more. Closer, closer. Back towards you a little. A little more back. Yeah, that's good. And 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa! That looks amazing. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Whoa.
Whoa. Oh. That looks awesome. What? It looks like cotton candy.
It does look like cotton candy.
For the finale, doing this. So I'm going to do a Death Eater, shot with the black paint. So all the Harry Potter fans get ready.
Do a couple more.
Tom Riddle, Voldemort, Montel.
Do another like in between.
It's awesome.
And then one right up front.
Up front.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's awesome.
Yeah. So now you can see just how
Hogwarts is no longer safe.
that black just drops down, and depending on how hard you squeeze it out, how much you're moving it, where you're putting it, it all moves around and does crazy different things. So Oliver, I think over on this side.
Over here?
Okay. Go ahead.
Holy.
So right now I'm focusing
Oh!
while he's doing this.
That looks like CG.
That looks amazing. So even doing this, you just get some crazy looking stuff.
Magic.
I'm on manual focus so that we can move around and get different focal points, so I don't have to trust the autofocus and maybe miss the shot. Alright, so what do you think of that?
That was cool.
What was something that you didn't expect would happen that happened?
I didn't think it would be, like it was cool.
Like that crazy looking?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get that paint and it mixes around and it's almost like a ribbon or a silky fabric.
CG.
What were some of the favorite ones that we did today?
The apple.
Yeah, the Snow White poisonous apple.
Oh.
What else?
I like.
Would you like your Harry Potter tribute?
Oh yeah.
I thought the nail polish looked really cool. And what I liked about the nail polish is that it might not be something that you use. I don't use nail polish too often. But one thing that's cool, one thing that's cool is that I might have a company ask me, hey, can you do a creative shot with some nail polish or barbecue sauce or whatever? And this is just another trick you can have in your bag to do some cool stuff. And what I think is so cool about the paint and the water is that when you pour it in there, you just have to let it go. So how much planning did we do for this?
A lot.
A lot? How long have we been down here?
For like almost the entire day.
Yeah, so almost the good part of our day we've been prepping this up and testing it. Even though one shot you're done, it took us all these hours to get the lighting right, to get the right equipment mixed up, or the right paints mixed up, to get our cameras set up, and then also film a video while we're doing it. So that kind of stuff takes time, but if you put in the proper planning, it can save you a lot of headaches once you get to here. So once we knew everything was good, we tested it, we put in the hard work, then I could say, all right, shoot it, and we're ready to go. Do you have any last words for anybody? Have fun?
Yeah.
Try to do something creative and new this week. Please send us your pictures at the link below.
And me and my dad were thinking about doing.
Oh, that's right.
We're gonna take one picture of us or a cool bit of this. And we're only gonna make one, and they're both gonna be signed by me and my dad, and maybe.
So maybe we'll do a drawing?
Yeah.
So if everyone writes in and sends us pictures or shares our links to other people, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a giveaway on our next video or coming up, where we'll give away a print of one of these cool ink photographs. Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
And it could be autographed by Oliver. All right. Thank you, everybody. And Oliver has a special treat for us. Goodbye.
Wait, what? Thanks, and have a great day.